Hello everybody, welcome back to another reading. Today we're taking a look at the case of Matt Flores, who was 26 years old, a successful military officer who had just started a job at Applied Materials in Silicon Valley, where he'd moved with his wife of 4 years, Denise, and newborn daughter, Danielle. On March 24th, 1994, on his 9th day of his new job, he arrived at work around 8:12 a.m. and parked his car, which was a white Chevy Corsica that his boss had rented for him. And then shortly afterwards, he was murdered execution style by an unknown party as he got out of his car. And it was found by a woman sitting in a car nearby who had entered the parking lot about the same time as him. And although there were about 20 people in the parking lot at the time, not one person saw his killer. But the authorities did notice that there was a Ford Explorer on the camera footage that was initially seen entering the parking lot about 20 minutes before the shooting occurred, and then was seen following a two-door Ford Probe out of the parking lot, a car that was similar to the car that Matt was driving, only to return sometime later, about 3 minutes before the shooting. It was then seen headed in the direction of where the shooting occurred, and 20 seconds after it had occurred, it was seen leaving the parking lot, never to be seen again. The actual crime itself took place in the one blind spot of the security camera system, so probably somebody who knew about that, at least. Investigators suspect that Matt's murder may have been a case of mistaken identity. They looked into other theories as well, that he may have been killed as a result of road rage, or that it was related to the military and his job, and none of those turned out to be viable theories. They even looked into the possibility that it was related to the case of Sergeant Nicholas Gange, who served under Matt while in the military and mysteriously vanished in April of 1993 and was later found dead under suspicious circumstances. However, no evidence has been found to substantiate that theory. And since he was seen following that other car, that perhaps they were looking for somebody in a car similar to what he was driving, and perhaps not too picky about what their target was supposed to look like. As the killer has never been identified and his case remains unsolved, a $100,000 reward is being offered for information that helps solve the case. And that is all the information that I have on this case right now. And that is why I was asked to do a reading on this case. And we're starting off with the Deviant Moon Tarot deck, which is already on the table. And for any further questions, moving on to the Vice Versa deck, which is this one. And as per usual, I'm just going to start shuffling the deck. As soon as I have about a table full of cards, we're going to stop and take a look. So without much further ado, let's get started. Okay, just double checking that it's actually recording. Yeah, I see the red dot. Okay, good, we're good. All right, so we're starting off in the top left with the 10 of Pentacles in reverse. So that is some type of financial loss, maybe. And the World in reverse next to that with the 5 of Swords. Now this, I think, is somebody who has been hard done by financially, so to speak. Maybe feels like they're being oppressed somehow by somebody, or at least they've lost something due to somebody else's doing. And the world over here is not aware. This may be in a world that is not super commonly known to people, like maybe an underworld, quite literally. Like maybe somebody in the underworld had some issues, or at least in not necessarily the underworld as in like the mobsters or anything like that, but more like in a layer of society that is not normally made aware of to regular people in the world, so to speak. So somebody is losing something there in the background that is not known to the public at large. We do actually have some, I guess, internal words being fought here. I do notice the white flag there in the distance, like somebody's trying to signal their surrender, but somebody else is just not letting it go. So maybe there was some type of debt held by somebody, and it was quite a big one, and this person has tried to throw in the towel, but it's actually not going away because this person does not want, this person, whoever this is, whoever I guess the debt was owed to, does not want to give in, possibly still wants whatever it is that they lost or something. There is some type of general dissatisfaction here that is not public knowledge and has to do with quite a lot of finances with these first three cards anyway. I don't want to make it like seem like a mob story right away, but it has that vibe. But in any case, so there is some financial loss right there. We have a King of Swords over here who is in reverse. We have an Ace of Wands, which is also in reverse. And then the 7 or the 8 of Cups walking away. All right, so we are trying to walk away. Somebody might be trying to walk away emotionally anyway. They might be trying to walk away emotionally from a person. We have here the King of Swords, who is somebody who would definitely walk away emotionally from somebody because the swords are very logical. So maybe this is somebody who has decided to take some type of action which is not very positive against somebody else. They're just being very logical. They're just kind of like cutting cords possibly, and also they feel like the whole world is at their feet. Literally, there is somebody here with a globe sitting at their feet. They can be very cold, very calculated, the King of Swords. And we have here this Ace of Wands, like I said, the initiative that was taken that was not positive right there. Like they're not cherishing anything. Nothing is sacred, I feel like, because we kind of see here almost like the Virgin Mary with, of course, the baby Jesus. I guess in that case, you want to continue that narrative, sitting over here, cradling this new pod, this new seedling. And they do not appear to care much about that, because we are, of course, dealing with this King of Swords here, and we are walking away emotionally, like I said here, with the 8 of Cups. So possibly whatever it is that they may have once felt for somebody or had reservations over emotionally, they may be abandoning that altogether in favor of something else, something that they, I guess, want to reclaim. In any case, they're making a lot of cold decisions here. And then we have over here the 6 of Wands in reverse. We're also kind of losing face with somebody, or somebody's losing face. Could be that they're walking away from somebody because they used to be friends with them, and now they're like, okay, well, you're just dead to me. Like maybe not literally, but in any case, some type of figural losing face, falling off of a pedestal is happening here. Then on the next row, we have Judgment in reverse. So some bad judgment taking place here. We have the 7 of Cups, not really having anything else to wish for. No other wishes. Also the 7 of Pentacles right next to each other. 2 7s. That's very interesting, because there's bad judgments, like I said, but we have the 2 7s here. So something has ripened on the vine that they were not very happy with. They're actually drawing blood here, and they're only really focused on one thing. There is nothing else to wish for. So the chickens have come home to roost. Maybe some type of camel, or at least the straw that breaks your camel's back type situation. The drop that makes the bucket spill, that type of situation, I think, is happening here. Like, oh, this is some time in the making, and now it's just going to have to go down because of that. So I feel like we're not even really looking at Matt's perspective. We're looking at whomever caused this whole situation in the beginning anyway, what they were thinking and feeling, and I have no idea who this is. But we have here Temperance upright, so that is interesting. So like I said with the King of Swords, it was actually across from the King of Swords, so it is somebody who does tend to think through things logically. And they may have made a decision, and also kind of like they're not mad about it, like not on the surface mad about it, but just kind of like it's a matter of fact, and that's just how business goes, or something along those lines. They don't feel particularly bad about things. They're also not super like raging or anything like that with the Temperance card upright. Then we have the 9 of Cups on its side. They're not feeling good about it either. kind of like with this Temperance card as well. Like, this is just a decision that they made. Like I just said, it's just business, that type of thing. They don't feel any particular way. Maybe they possibly regret a little bit that it went the way that it went, but it's not something that they're going to lose sleep over. They may be a little bit conflicted, but ultimately I do feel like they are aware that it is not just, and also they are going around the whole justice system. I feel like that's something that's coming up. Like, they know that there is a justice system that they could have possibly used to deal with whatever it is they're dealing with, or maybe they can't use it for whatever reason because it's so underground that they can't go to justice, because justice would also possibly look at them negatively. So it's kind of like outside of that realm, it seems. And in case no justice is being done, justice is not being served, we have somebody who is very even-keeled, even-tempered, feels a little bit bad maybe, but not bad enough that they will put a stop to this, because there is some type of break here that's happening. That's also clouding their judgment, possibly. That's why judgment is in reverse. Okay, so we're looking at their perspective. Now, let's see. This is all, I guess, the decision making that led up to it. Now, let's see what happens like after that. Can we learn anything more about possibly that day? Okay, we have some cards over here that are in reverse. And again, we have judgments in reverse right on top of judgment. It was about to fall here, which is right on top of the one that we pulled earlier, which is interesting. As well as this looks like the Two of Wands, so trying to go places, but we're looking at the person who's trying to travel here. So somebody is about to travel, and they also have judgment in reverse. This may be a different person. And not only are we looking at a judgment in reverse, we're also looking at the backside, basically, of judgment, because normally you would see more like this, like some angel coming down from the heaven, usually with a trumpet, to call the people up from the graves, because the judgment day has arrived. But we're looking at the people who are being called up from the grave, but it's not a good kind of judgment. More like, almost like they're going to be put back in the grave or something, like something is judging over them. And this may also be the outlook of whomever this is, whoever was driving that Ford Explorer, I think. Like, they're the ones making travel plans, and they're also the ones who are calling this judgment down from the sky, I suppose. Maybe they feel like some type of judge person in this case, like judge, jury, executioner, that type of thing. Also looking at the really weird thing that's in the wall behind them. I thought it was a lion initially, but if it is, then it's really worn down. It may also be kind of like a cross between a lion and some type of snake or something weird, a weird kind of eldritch demon or something strange sticking out of that. Like, there's something in the background that they cannot control, and they are making the plans, I guess, to appease it, or something weird happening over there. In any case, strange mood for this person to be in. We have the next card that fell here, the Knight of Wands on its side, and we're looking at the back. So Knight of Wands is normally in a bit of a hurry to do things without too much care in the world, without thinking too much about consequences. We're going charging forth, basically, into what looks like a storm. And what does the other side look like? Okay, so normally they would kind of like, oh, it's a unicorn. I didn't even see that. Normally the Wand Knight is a bit more fierce than this. He does actually have a torch on him. He seems to be in a bit of a lonely area, but he's not very feisty, which is interesting. But if you look at the other side, like we just did, then they are in a very dangerous place. They seem to be navigating it with their torch. Like, this may be somebody who is in this little circle of certain types of people who have certain jobs, or at least they've given themselves certain jobs. They've landed in this certain job, and only they really know how to deal with that. So this may be also pointing towards somebody who does this sort of thing more often, which may also explain if it really was mistaken identity, that they got Matt and not somebody else, and because they just wouldn't even know the person that they were dealing with or whom they were looking for. So that makes sense that they would be kind of navigating this strange world that would seem very daunting and dark to other people, but they seem pretty calm regardless. So let's see what else we can find out about this day. All right, we have the Nine of Swords. We're looking at, I guess this is the front. Yeah, we're definitely looking at some concern here, some worry. Maybe this is how they got up that morning, just kind of like in a bit of a bad place as well. Looks like a pretty poor location and feeling some anxiety, possibly also talking to themselves internally about the day, that how they were not looking forward to that. Okay, so this is actually kind of a creepy side. This is not the side that we got, of course, when we actually got the card, but there appears to be a shadow right next to the window there, like the person is overlooking a beautiful sunrise through a bunch of swords, and also with this strange person on their left, strange shadow, like there's something overshadowing their bright day. So maybe that's also what they're kind of looking at and maybe trying to ignore, because if you look at the way that this person is looking, they're kind of looking away from that, possibly even next to the window, but on the other side, try and avoid seeing the other thing that they do not want to be confronted with. So maybe they got up that morning and tried to just ignore the reality of what it is that they were about to do. Like maybe they have to do that anyway when they're doing this type of thing. Let's see what else we can get. All right. Oh, okay. So we actually have another card that is kind of similar, with somebody looking outside of the window. This person, however, is overlooking kind of futuristic landscape, still kind of barren. And we're looking at some type of financial balancing situation, also with all the different elements up there. Earth, air, water, and fire. I don't think that's the correct order that I mentioned it, but that's the symbols at the top there above the window. So they're trying to keep things balanced, maybe. Like maybe this is them feeling like they don't have much of a choice because they need to balance things in their own life. And if they don't do this, then things are going to go way off kilter. Also financially, but possibly also with other resources just in life in general. And it will not go well for them. And they don't foresee anything getting better because this person is very gray. Like this is a very gray looking person. Oh, they look actually kind of creepy on this side too. Maybe I should stop turning cards around, because every time I turn a card around I see things I don't like. So this person is very senior with a fire at their feet, literally needs to get moving, I suppose. So they're kind of like a bit practical in that sense, like, okay, well, I just need to do this, because if I don't, then that's going to happen. And we don't want that, so we're just going to go ahead and do our thing and keep our head down, almost like that type of energy is what I'm getting. So this is, I guess, the morning of, but now let's go to the actual deed, the fact, so to speak. What can we see? Are you falling? Okay, that one kind of wanted to drop, so I'm going to take it. That is the 10 of Pentacles in reverse, and we're looking at the back side. So maybe there's also some children involved that they want to somehow provide for, but they also don't feel like they're very good providers for them, because the chair that they're sitting on is very much worn. Like they might want to leave something to a future generation, but they're just like not able to do so, or they don't feel like what they're leaving is worthwhile. So there's that. Nope. A bunch of them just fell right onto my lap, but it's quite a large stack, so I'm going to try to shuffle them separately. Those two. Anything else? That one. Okay. These two. We have the Sun, and we have the Seven of Cups. Again, the Seven of Cups. We have the Seven of Cups right here, also in reverse. The Sun is upright, though, so maybe there is some type of brightness there. Maybe they're trying to make things right in their head, feeling like, okay, well, this is the only choice I have, so I'm correcting making this choice, and that's just how it is, and there's really no other thing for me to do here. Maybe they are trying to focus on the good that they might be doing, or that they feel like they're doing, because both cards have a bit of a sun vibe to them, with that face in the sun over there, of course, with the sun itself, and the face in that ball of light there between the cups. Like they're trying to make it okay for themselves. Maybe they're trying to, I don't know, come up with reasons why this person that they're supposed to go after deserves what they're getting, or something along those lines. We do have here the Six of Pentacles in reverse, so no charity is given. Again, with this theme of looking down upon some other people who appear to be small, kind of like what this guy was doing in the background. and over here as well. So they feel like they're just being practical, they're just doing their thing, and people around them may seem like they're just small people who are completely unaware of his amazing presence, although amazing presence, just his dangerous presence, I guess, would be a better way to put it. Like looming over them, but choosing not to act, that type of thing, that type of grace, I think, is what he is showing upon the people that they are interacting with, without knowing exactly what it is that they are interacting with. All right, so we've got a few cards here that are all on their side. We've got 2 of them over here and then 1 over there. So this is the 10 of Cups on its side. 10 of Cups is normally feeling really good about something. We're once again feeling very torn. We had the 9 of Cups on its side right here, so we're just continuing this. And we have the Ace of Pentacles on its side as well, so some type of initiatives that's being taken that's not quite right. And then we have the 2 of Cups on its side as well, so 3 on its side. So there are some dubious connections here, and we're also kind of not entirely on board with things that people are trying to get us to be on board with. We're not feeling super good about it, and maybe this is also the moment where they realize that they don't have the right person because this Ace is on its side. Like, okay, yeah, I did the thing, but it's not the thing I should have done. So that's not great. This may be, like I said, the moment where they realize that things were not quite as they seemed, and perhaps they should reconsider things. I don't know if that's what they were doing. Well, maybe this is the reconsider card right here with that on its side. Let's quickly go back to the Deviant Moon, see if, like, what else could we ask? So I feel like at this point the situation with Matt has already happened. So now they're just out there and they're possibly aware that they got the wrong person, or maybe they're not. And let's just see what happens with them and possibly what the result is real quick. Oh, those 2. All right. So now we're in hiding, and the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, so things, I think they were eventually made aware, possibly aware before whoever sent them out there was aware of their mistake, that they made a mistake, because now we're hiding over here, trying to anyway, and not in a good way, because the Hermit normally would just retreat for some type of introspection, but that's not what's happening. This is more of, I need to get out of here because things are about to turn really bad, because of the Wheel of Fortune over there as well in reverse, and they're not super happy with the outcome. Let's see what happens next, like what the general situation was. Okay, we got a few cards over here. Okay, so somebody is definitely catching up with them. The 5 of Cups over here, and somebody is literally hovering over this other person, being very upset with them. So they were being told off. Now, it's not super like they weren't themselves, I think, taken out, because we do see that there are still some cups left in the background. So maybe whomever it is that was upset with them wasn't even that upset or cared all too much about the fact that they got the wrong guy, because we see now a message being sent here, and the next thing that we see here is another 2 of Cups, like they're trying to make up for it, maybe. Like maybe the message that they're sending back and forth is like, oh yeah, sorry, didn't mean that, I'll go for the next one, or at least the right one this time, like trying to make up for it, even though the other person might not be super interested in hearing what they have to say, but still making the attempt to communicate and possibly make things right with them. Let's see, we've got any final cards. Oops, that's a lot of them, but I'm thinking we're going to take that card over there. Wow, really making a big mess over here, which I'm guessing is also the conclusion that the person drew who actually sent them out there in the first place. We have here the Page of Swords. Okay, so hasty words are spoken right here to try and patch things real quick. May work, maybe not. We'll have to take a look at that as well. I see that the battery of my audio recording is running low, so I'm going to make this last few cards right here to see what we get. what happened to them. Okay, we got a small stack here and they all land up right, so we'll take a look at that. All right, so Knight of Cups, focusing on their own emotions mostly. Maybe this is the person whom initially gave them the order, like they're, oh my god, I have to now deal with this somehow and now it's on me and look what you did, that type of thing. Nine of Pentacles though, so somebody is getting money back or getting paid somehow. Almost like the person whom was originally targeted is now aware that they were being targeted. Maybe Matt was actually just a warning for somebody. And now we're seeing here the Six of Pentacles again, possibly giving some charity here. Maybe this is now a between the two of them kind of conversation, like, okay, yeah, I see what you mean now. I know that you're serious. Okay, let's try to figure something out between the two of us. And we can work things out. Again, focused on that money with this Four of Pentacles. And Four of Pentacles is leading them into a fire, as you can see. Like they're focusing so much on the things that they potentially don't want to lose, that they're just running off of a cliff on the other end or into a fiery place, which is definitely not a great place to be. Seven of Wands in reverse. So Seven of Wands is normally a somebody coming for your position, so they just don't want that to happen. They want to stay in the limelight with this person, to continue to party in the same trap that they find themselves in with this other person. Like it's all part of the same bunch and they don't want to step out of line, because that's gonna get some pretty bad consequences coming your way. And then we have some quick actions being made here by the King of Wands, who is also very actionable. So it looks as though it's business as usual for whomever was involved in the background, that Matt probably had no idea of what was going on there. And maybe his unfortunate death caused for some type of settlement to be made in the background that also solve things for them, but of course not for Matt. So I do feel like he was just an unfortunate side character in this strange story. And now his family has to deal with the consequences. Well, whomever these people are, just continue on with doing whatever it is that they do in their little world. So that is what I'm seeing for Matt Flores. I hope you found that interesting. In any case, make sure to leave a comment and a like. That really helps the channel along. If you want to subscribe, that's even better. Very much appreciated. I hope to see you in another video. Thanks for watching and bye-bye for now.